Hi there, here's Christina from Changing Parenting. And let me ask you something. When you go to the zoo, when you go to an indoor playground, when you go to a circus, do you go there because you actually want to go there? Or do you go there because, you want to give your child a nice experience and you want to spend a nice time with your child? I'm betting it's the second one, right? That's why we do things. Not always, right? That doesn't mean everything we do in life is about our children. Not at all, right? We all need to, I always say, the only way that life can work is if you take care of your needs, your family needs, and your child needs, all together. You cannot just focus on one. That will never be a fulfilling life. But when you do specific things, when you think about it, the reason you are doing them is because you want your child to have a good time. You want to spend a good time with your child, right? The same way that when you go to the supermarket, your goal is not to provide your child an awesome, fun time, but to buy food, right? So we always have to be mindful. Why am I doing things? If your goal in bringing your child to a zoo is for your child to have fun and for you to spend a good time with your child, then you need to be mindful that everything you do needs to be focused on that, right? So if you spend tons of money to go to a zoo and your child just cares about, I don't know, the garbage cans. That was actually my case. When my son was about 2 years old, he loved garbage cans. Like everywhere we went, it was all about the garbage cans. It was completely useless, to spend tons of money on things. And that's what we realized. It's not worth it. It's better to just go and have a walk in a park with a lot of garbage cans, because he will have more fun, right? And we have less stress because we are not focused on, we have to see the giraffes and we have to see, no, it's just about the garbage can. It's about doing what he wants. So we are mindful in those things. It doesn't make sense when you buying expensive tickets for a zoo, for instance, and then blaming your child for not enjoying it the way that you want them to enjoy it, because the goal was not to get your child to enjoy things the way you think they should be enjoyed. The goal was for your child to have fun and for you to have fun with your child, right? So if you go to the zoo and they want to spend their whole time in the playground, your take on this should not be, why are you in the playground? We have to go and see the giraffes. Soon the zoo will close. Your take should be, okay, let's have fun here in the playground. Let's have fun together. Oh, I love seeing you slide that slide. Look, that's so much fun, and really focus on your goals. And your goals was that your child enjoy themselves and that you enjoy themselves. Enjoyed your time with your child, right? And then you might say, but Christina, I spent tons of money on this. Okay, then your takeaway should be, next time, do not spend tons of money on that. Know your child, right? This happens also a lot with teenagers. When you spend tons of money on these holidays that you think it's for the children, because you have to think, like, am I doing this for my child or for myself? Because if it's for myself, then it's better I choose something that I really enjoy, right? Maybe I don't want to be in a hotel filled with kids, right? Maybe if I'm doing this for me, then that's not the best hotel for me. If I'm doing this for my child, then I need to choose something that I know my child likes. If they are a teenager and what they love is to play video games, maybe if you find a hotel that has some room with video games, or maybe you want to keep them away from screens and you want them to enjoy other activities, then think about what other activities do they like. Maybe they love skateboarding, maybe they love water sports, right? Whatever it is, but it needs to be what they like, not about what you think they should like. Otherwise it will not work. Otherwise you will always be resenting your child instead of actually spending time with your child and enjoying the time you're spending with your child, right? You cannot force your child to do it's the same as with little kids. This is actually a really good exercise to help us see the world in a different perspective. We as parents, we always want to teach our children, but if you take a step back, you can actually learn a lot from your child. Like when you're playing a game with a small child. So I specialize in ages 3 to 6. And this is something I suggest you do. When you're playing a game with your child, instead of trying to get them to follow the rules, which by the way you should, right? You should teach them the rules and all that because it's also important. But it's also important to just let them play, right? So instead you follow their rules. Instead of being like, no, but the piece goes here. You say, okay, why are you putting it there? Oh, that's interesting. That's also a nice way to play, right? This weekend, as I was at the zoo, I saw this father that he was saying, the child was saying, my tummy aches, I want to go home. And he was about 10 years old. And the father was saying, well, we paid for these tickets. We cannot just go home. The world doesn't revolve around you. I can give you a pill, or you can wait here while I watch the zoo. And I understood there's no judgment to this father, because I understand that maybe, it seemed to me that maybe this was like one of those dates that he had with his son. There was no mother present, so maybe he's not used to having to help his child deal with these emotions. And very often when things like this happen is because they also didn't have their own, no one ever taught them to self-regulate. So there's no judgment here. However, we always need to remember that we are the adults and they are the children. So even though it really is unfair that you spent all this money buying a ticket to enter a zoo, even though it's unfair that you took your day to spend the day with the child, and even though it's unfair that it's your day to have fun with the child and they should be having fun with you, right? You are the adult and that's a child. And if they want to go, it doesn't matter that you spend money. You cannot force someone to have fun. I hope this helped a little bit, and if you have any questions, let me know.